This is the Sean Cory story. I was born and raised an atheist, a liberal. My family, very liberal, very atheist. My mom and dad both had different forms of church hurt. My mom was born and raised a Catholic schoolgirl. That didn't go so well. My dad was born and raised like a small town Presbyterian. That didn't go well. They both grew up in the 70s, rebelled, partied, met each other, partied, had family. I have 2 older siblings. I came along a little bit later. I was born into a crazy dysfunctional family. But who isn't, right? Who isn't? Whose family is perfect? Who is perfect, right? So it's crazy, it's chaotic. My mom and dad got a divorce when I was 9. That really messed me up in a lot of ways. My mom and dad are both like really good people, and we're gonna get into my dad. We'll get into that. Really good people who, if we're being honest here, if they were gonna be honest with themselves, if I'm gonna be honest with what happened, they weren't really good parents. They provided, they protected, they put food over the table, they bought me stuff. I was a middle class. It wasn't anything like crazy. They didn't beat me, they didn't abuse me. I wasn't traumatized severely, but they just kind of checked out. Like they got the divorce. I was 9. My siblings were like heading out the door, off to college, moving away. My parents got really busy, really distracted with their jobs, with their own love lives, with their own personal lives and friendships. And I was 9, and I kind of got forgotten, and it messed me up. And so I became like a little jerk. I became angry. I became violent. I became like, I would do stuff. I would react. I would do things to get reactions, right? I learned that like if I wanted people to actually care about me, I almost had to get in trouble. I almost had to be a troublemaker in order for someone to sit me down and say, what do you want? Or tell me what's on your mind. It's like I felt like my whole childhood was me shouting like, I want my mom, I want my dad, and both of them being a little bit too distracted. They were there for me. Again, don't worry, this isn't a sob story. They weren't horrible. And I grew up later. I went through high school and middle school and high school, I guess. Let's keep it in order. I was a punk. I was like a funny bully. I didn't bully people, but I was like funny. I would pick on people. I'd make fun of myself, kind of being the class clown. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be friends with everyone. And I would use humor to do that a lot. And to all the people I might have bullied or hurt out there, sorry, truly. I am truly sorry. I don't think I was like a bully. I never shoved kids into lockers or beat kids up, but I said mean stuff to people. I did mean things, played pranks and jokes that I probably shouldn't have, right? Because I just wanted to be funny. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to fit in, right? And, I was a smart kid that didn't care enough, that kind of threw that away. Didn't do any of my homework, barely, did anything academically, no extracurriculars other than playing sports. And so, yeah, and then the whole time I was just godless. I thought Christians were dumb. I thought Christians were stupid. Why would I think anything else? Everyone around me, my friends, my peers, my family, everyone just thought, God's not real. This life is all you have. Make the most of it. And right when I was about to graduate, it kind of hit me like, oh no, like I kind of messed up. My grades are bad. I'm not really going off to anywhere good to college. So I kind of just went to the closest college and state that I would accept me. My grades were bad. My test scores were bad. Where can I go? It happens to be the party school. Southern Illinois University. I go to there. I make a bunch of friends, artsy friends, hipster friends, partying friends. What do? I party. What do? I hook up with girls. I hook up with ladies. Became a slut maker. Sorry to all those ladies out there I may have hurt or traumatized. Sorry, truly. To all the friends I might have like abused or misused along the way, or ripped off or taken advantage of. Sorry. Started doing a lot of drugs. Just, being selfish, living selfishly. What was I doing when I was 18 years old? I was living for myself. I thought this life is short. This is all we have. I better make the most of it. I better have all the fun, all the pleasure, make all the memories possible. And I didn't care or consider anyone else really, other than myself the whole time. If you were a girl and you were going to hook up with me, I didn't care about what happened afterwards. Just let's have fun. And who cares? We'll just never talk to each other ever again, regardless of the consequences. You're a friend of mine. Oh yeah, we're smoking weed together. Yeah, let's have fun tonight. Next day you want to hang out? Nah, I'm good. You aren't that fun to hang out with. You were fun when we were like smoking weed and getting drunk on Friday night, but Monday, when you have problems and you're coming to me, yeah, I'm not going to be there for you, bro. That's not fun. That's not helping me. That's not serving myself, right? No, I'm not going to be there for you. Didn't care about my grades. All I cared about was books, philosophy. I started reading just interesting books, American novels, podcasts, YouTube, conspiracies, politics. I mean, comedy. I just really got into just having fun, being funny, laughing, joking, having a good time, drinking, smoking, sexing, all the bad things that felt good, that served myself. I did it all. And it was bad. I thought it was good. It felt good temporarily, right? But was it? Was it? So eventually I moved out to California. My family started moving away from Illinois, where I grew up, all the way out to California. Cali. Moving from Chicago out to California, baby. And what do you think happened there? What do you think? Do you think that move changed my life and made me a better person? It like absolutely did not. You know, it made everything worse. I got more into smoking weed. It was legal. I got more into drinking. Everyone drinks. Everyone smokes cigarettes and drinks. All my friends are hipsters and artists. People I worked with at like Starbucks and coffee shops and stuff. Cool kids, hipsters, artists, musicians, comedians. And I just had fun. I had fun and I served myself. I had fun and I enslaved myself to my sins. Why would I? Why would I care? Why would it matter? Life is short. There's nothing beyond this life. I'll just do what I want. I'll have fun. I'll pleasure myself. I'll live for myself. Why would I do anything else? I did care for other people. You know, I'll give people compliments, do a few charity projects, little things along the way where I'd pat myself on the back and say, yeah, you're a good guy. You care. And if I'm going to be honest, we'll get to this, but I look back and there's little times where God kind of did course correct me and teach me some morals and, help me and steer me. And he was stirring my heart to get me ready for what was going to come. But me, myself, my life, my choices, my soul, my mind, my lips, all just thought, you know what? God's not real. Life is short. Live for now. Live for myself. And that continued. And that continued. And it got worse. And it continued. And it got worse. And I started taking out loans so I could party and live comfortably. And that made my life bad. I lost a bunch of friends because I wasn't a good friend. And that made my life bad. I lost a bunch of friends because they just moved away or they, got married, had kids, and got too busy. For a dumb idiot like me, a bad friend like me. Yeah, of course I don't have time for me anymore. And I got sad, my job was stressful. I was about to lose my job, quit my job, just stressing out. My life, I dropped out of college. I was going to go back, but not. I was going to go be a firefighter, but couldn't stop smoking weed. So I never did that. It's just a snowball. Life got worse. Life got worse. I just kept becoming more depressed, more sad, more alone, more empty. And what was my solution? More weed, more drugs, more friends. I'll go, oh yeah, I lost all these friends, these people who were actually good people who left me because of course they did. Because of course they did. Well, I'll just make friends with you. Come on, be my friend. You bad influence, you partier. Let's just party together. Let's have fun together. Let's laugh together. Let's do bad things together. Life is short. Why would I not? Just live for myself, right? And it just goes, it snowballs. My finances get worse. My friends get worse. My friends that I did end up having were not good. Or the friends I ended up keeping were not good. I don't like to talk about my family. I'll be very general whenever I talk about family members, but some family started doing some shady things to me, some hurtful things to me. Um, again, job was a horrible situation. I just felt lost. I felt like empty. I felt no matter what, I can feel good tonight, but I can't feel good in general. I can smoke weed and feel giggly and laughy and bubbly right now, but when the high wears off, I was left alone and empty and broken. And it got so bad, it got so dark, it got so crazy that I just was going to kill myself, take my own life, end it now. It's been good. It's been fun. I haven't really done anything horrible. I didn't cross any severe lines, didn't kill anyone, murder anyone. I didn't really like abuse or harm anyone. Again, like a high schooler, like I wasn't really a bully, but I wasn't a good friend, right? I didn't really hurt anyone, but I hurt people, right? Just being selfish, just being self-serving, neglecting them, neglecting their needs, neglecting who they are, not caring at all about who they are. Because everything was about me. It was all about myself. And I've had this great idea, I'm going to go take my own life before it gets any worse, before things get horrible, right? I'm going to take my life in the cleanest, simplest way possible before my family gets too embarrassed or too ashamed of me, right? I could die now pretty good. I could end it all tomorrow, go into the abyss, go into the blackness, kind of say, yeah, I enjoyed life and nothing really bad happened. Take my life, it's all over, right? Wrote the notes, packed my stuff, cleaned my stuff up, gave a bunch of my stuff away. Didn't tell anyone. Took off work for a week. Should have just quit, but whatever. Woke up one morning, went to drive to the place I was going to go kill myself, and God intervened. God divinely intervened. He sent the right person at the right time to pick me up and change my heart into hit the direction of him and away from the direction that led to death, away from my sin and away from my death. And my course got corrected. And when that course got corrected, it was undeniable that God is real. Not only is God real, he cares about me. Not only is God working and moving in my life, but he cares about my life. And he's there for me. Me. This piece of crap. This selfish, self-centered, degenerate, gross, disgusting, despicable person. The creator of the universe, of everything good, true, and beautiful, cared about me. And boy, did that hit me hard. And from that morning, I woke up. I was like, God's not real. I'm going to kill myself, go into the blackness, end it all, and just leave this existence forever. And that night, I went to bed knowing fully that God is real. He's there. He cares about me, and he has a plan for my life. So that hit me. That was that. That was real. That was a course correction. So what do? I, still being an idiot, still being an imbecile, still being a heathen, degenerate, I was like, yeah, I'll clean myself up. I'll get sober. I'll get skinny. I'll get healthy. I'll start just being a good person. I'll start helping people and saying nice things to people. I'll start caring about other people, right? And it kind of worked. There was a little bit of improvement there. There was a little bit of like, let's go, pumped up, motivating. If we're going to be honest, there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of, oh no, he's real. He's been watching me. He's involved in my life, and I've done a lot of bad stuff. So I got a lot of apologies. I got a lot of making up for lost time, right? Still me, still myself, still I got this. I'll save myself, me. And that lasted for a few months. And of course I relapsed. There was a night where I broke down and smoked too much, drank too much, ate too much, came home from the bar after kind of fighting with some friends, puked, felt the worst I'd ever felt in my life, spiritually, emotionally, and physically all at once. Broke down, cried, profusely, sat on my bed, closed my eyes, and prayed my first prayer ever. I just said, God, I can't do this. I don't get this. I don't understand this. What's going on? Clearly, you're real and you're working and you're moving and you want me to be doing stuff, and I have no idea what that is. God, can you help me? God, I need you. You, not me. This life I've lived for 28 years, that's all been all about me. It's over. I'm ready. I submit. It's all about you now. And I opened my eyes and there was a Bible right there on the bookshelf. And my reaction was like, no, no, it couldn't have been that. It can't be that. Not that. The Christians are crazy. Not that. Jesus is like fake or like he's just a philosopher. The Bible can't be real, you know? And yet God led me to it. So I picked it up, take it off the shelf. I open it up. I skip the Old Testament because I'm still just, this is nonsense. This is garbage. Maybe there's something inside of it that he wants me to read. That Bible's clearly, obviously just fairy tales and fiction. Christians are obviously just dumb and stupid and wasting their life, Maybe there's something in the Bible, a little, something that might be what he wants me to see, to know, to understand, right? So I open my Bible, skip the Old Testament. I'm like, let's see what this Jesus guy's up to. Let's see if the New Testament. Let's start at the New Testament and let's let the old live there in the past, right? So I start reading. It's Matthew, first book, Matthew 1. It's genealogies, it's lineages, it's a bunch of confusing names. I don't get this. I don't understand this. This is weird. Chapter 2, chapter 3, it's like a virgin birth. That's weird. That probably didn't happen, right? John the Baptist. What is this guy? Just like this crazy guy in the wilderness, like eating bugs. I'm not going to do that. What am I supposed to be like that guy? No way. I'm not like that guy. I'm not going to do that. That's weird. And then Matthew 4 hit. And I encountered Christ. I encountered the Messiah, our Lord and Savior, right there in his word. Matthew 4, you see Jesus Christ, more than a man, more than a philosopher, some teacher, some wise guy, You see a man with authority. You see a man with power. You see a man that walks up to strangers, grown men with grown-up lives, walking up to them, and with the power and authority of his call, he says, follow me. And these men throw their lives away instantly to follow him. It's not just a dude. That's not just like a funny guy. That's not just a teacher. That's not just, oh, he's smart. I don't have anything going on in my life. I'll just do whatever. I'm like a vagabond. What do I have? I have nothing to lose. I'm going to follow this guy. No, they had everything to lose. They had families, they had careers, they had livelihoods, they had villages that cared about them, but they left immediately to follow. Jesus, this man was more than just a man. He was divine. He's healing people. He's amassing crowds are coming to hear him. The leaders are starting to fear him. There's something more here. And it hit me. There's something more to this man than just a man. There's something more to this book than just a book. There's something more here. And I kept reading. And Matthew 5 was everything I thought about Christianity that kept me away from it. They're hypocrites. They're selfish. They don't care about people. They're wasting their time. Spiritual whatever is some emotion fleeting thing. I mean, everything I thought about Christians, but they are the bad ones. Here's Jesus, my Lord, my Savior, telling us in red letters that all of that is not true. That he is the light, the truth, and the way, that he is the one we are to come to and surrender before. He's the meaning, he's the purpose, he's the reason. He's the bridge of the gap I was looking for. When I was on this side of the gap, he was the bridge that was leading me to God, led me to God. And it was just over. I read Matthew 5, I read Matthew 6, Matthew 7. It was just over, man. Boom, boom, boom. Daggers to my heart, fireworks, explosions in my heart. It was over. And I kept having this repeating thought, like, who kept this from me? Who kept this from me, man? It was here all along. The Christians were all around me all along. And I said no. I rejected it. Because I wanted to feel good and like live my own life, my own way, because I thought I was in control, because I wanted, all of it kept me from the truth. It kept me from the light and the love of God. It kept me away from a relationship with him. And that night I surrendered. And that night my life changed drastically. I mean, drastically. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, everything changed. My life but the table was totally flipped in this temple. And God started moving. God started working. He led me away from bad influences, from bad friends, from family, chaos and turmoil. He led me to Nashville. It's a long story, but I just felt for the first time the Holy Spirit calling me to something beyond me, something greater than me, a purpose ahead of me that was mysterious and confusing and unknown. I didn't like it. I didn't want it. And yet the Spirit was moving me to Nashville. I had never been there. I didn't know anyone there. I didn't have a reason to go there, no job, no place to live. And yet I just packed my bags and moved. I just went. I said, yes, Lord, I'm here. I'm fully submitted. I don't understand this. I don't like it, but I will go. Here I am, Lord. Send me. I will go. And I went. This was 2019, the end of 2019. Packed my bags, gave stuff away, filled my tiny little Honda Fit with as much books and clothes as I could. And I drove across the country to Nashville, and it worked out. It worked out and it didn't work out. I lived homeless in Nashville. I met a lot of great people. COVID happened. Life fell apart for everyone. I was having a great time. I was on this magical journey with the Holy Spirit just burning in me. The fire of the Spirit just flaming hot, burning hot, leading me to people and places and teaching me lessons, correcting me, leading me to places where at first I thought they were blessings. I thought it was home. I thought these were forever friends. I thought this was my church. And boy, oh boy, was that wrong. But it was correct in the end. God was leading me to the people and the places that he needed me to. Not just, here's your friends, here's your church, but here are lessons. Here is course correction. The sanctification process from that time in 2019, that March of 2019, to even today, it's been nothing but trial and error, course correction, letting the Holy Spirit guide me, teach me, lead me, rebuke me, correct me. And that happened, yada, yada, yada. I started working different jobs, making new friends, drama, stuff happened, good things, bad things along the way. You know, just becoming a better Christian, slowly but surely. And 2023 was a significant year for me. Again, just the fire is raging. At this point, I have a lot of different Bible studies, awesome groups of friends, some family I reconnected with, you know. Things were going really good. Like good and bad, you know, sunshine and rain. But 2023, this summer, I went homeless on purpose. I felt called. You know, when I was homeless out of necessity, moving to Nashville, it was necessity. It was, I don't have money. I'm living out of my car. I'm going to make it work. And I made it work. And it was awesome. And I felt the fire burning hot, right? And then I get a job, get a girlfriend, make some friends, church, start going through the motions, and start drifting away from loving and serving people. Yeah, I won't evangelize that person. Now, I'm not going to serve people. I need to serve myself first, right? I need to be selfish first before I'm selfless. And it's a long story, but 2023, I was like, you know what? My lease is up. I'm going to go homeless on purpose this time. I'm going to live out of my truck and do it on purpose this time. So I moved into my truck, started traveling around the South, felt unbelievably grateful every night, going to bed, being grateful for what I had, for what he's done for me. And the fire was burning. And I felt something big coming. I felt this like something is, son, you're doing things right now. Now that you've kind of left your going through the motions behind, now that you've left your selfishness behind, even after your salvation, you're still being selfish. You're still going through the motions. You're still making excuses. And now you're kind of cutting the crap and you're getting serious in your Christian walk. You know, playtime's over. Milk and honey's over. it's time to get serious, Sean. You're a Christian now. I need you to be a Christian man. I need you to break up with this girlfriend that's not going to be your wife. I need you to quit this job. That's not what I need you to be doing. This career path that is not serving God's interest, right? Yeah, it's making money. It's not serving God. I need you to cut out your toxic friends. I need you to make up with your family. I need you to start doing the difficult things. And it was like, challenge accepted. We're going. We're on fire, baby. And I accepted. I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I'm called to be single. But I felt this stirring. I felt something big is happening. I felt, 4 months of this, I felt like God was like, had a big reward waiting for me at the end of it, right? And I met a girl and I fell in love. And I thought she was the one. I thought this was the reward. It made so much sense. God's like preparing me to do get my house in order, myself in order before here's your wife. Now go make a family, right? Long story short, that didn't work out. That was a my bad. That was a me bad. That was wrong. That was my feelings and emotions. Again, choosing to drift away from the path God had for me. And I got heartbroken. In all of 2024, I had fun times with friends. I moved into a house with Christian guys, a lot of Bible studying. I started discipling young men. Like I started doing a lot of good things, having fun, doing things, living life well as a Christian in Nashville, working hard, being elevated in my job, being promoted in my job, but still heartbroken over this girl. There was this deep sadness I couldn't shake about this girl. And to this day, it wasn't about her. In the moment, I thought it was all about her. It's all about her. My love that got away. I blew it. I ruined it. Destiny. Maybe if I just hold out, maybe she is the one and this is a temporary pain. This is a lesson, a thing we'll laugh about on our wedding day when we tell the story of how we met and what happened, where, I said stupid things and we broke up and we realized later on that was a mistake and we got back together. But it wasn't. It wasn't. And my heart was broken. In 2024, I had a lot of hardship. I had some friends betray me. I had some family say and do some mean things. My job was stressful. My bosses started taking advantage of me. Bad things, bad things, bad things. Good things, fun things, but also just bad. And that fire, that burning fire I had early on in my Christian walk, and then when I kind of revived that fire, doing the homeless on purpose thing, that revival, that kindling of the fire got put out. Mainly because of the girl, but also because of a lot of other reasons. And so all of 2024, last year, I was just empty. I just felt distant. I felt the fire. I had faith. I didn't lose faith. I still trust you, Lord. I'm crying out with my lips. I'm crying out with my mind, my thoughts. Lord, I love you. I'm here for you. I'm your servant. I want more. I want to be good. I want to be a good, righteous man. I want to be yours. And I felt that fire burning very dimly. No matter what I did. Well, and I talked to friends and I talked to my mentor. What do I do? I just feel so distant from God. I feel like I'm the sheep and I'm going to the shepherd and he's running away or he's not even there. It's like, I trust the shepherd. I love the shepherd. I'm here, shepherd. I want to be with you. And I didn't hear the shepherd calling back. I didn't hear or feel his presence, right? I want this fire rekindled. What do I need to do? What do I need to throw on this small flame to get it to burn bright again? And I'd get told, pray more. I'd pray more. Nothing would happen. Read your Bible more. I'd read my Bible more. Nothing would happen. Serve, disciple more. I'd serve, I'd disciple more. Nothing happened. It seems like everything I did was this attempt to get back to that raging fire in my heart, and nothing happened. I felt him there. It's like I felt the shepherd there. I trusted. I had faith that the shepherd was there, but it just hurt. It just hurt. All year, I felt so hurt. I felt abandoned. I felt confused. What do I do? I'm meeting with friends. What do I do? I don't get it. Is this like a thing where God's like, hey, son, you're depending on me too much. I need you to go out and do some stuff for yourself. I need you to become a Christian man that takes care of stuff, And so I'd do that and that wouldn't work. And they'd be like, okay, well then maybe that's pride, maybe that's selfishness, maybe that's me thinking like I can control myself. I'll let go, I'll surrender, I'll give everything up to you. And that didn't seem to work. And I just felt empty. I felt distant. And Thanksgiving, I saw my dad, and it was awesome. My dad had some health problems. He just had back surgery, had some knee problems. He had like blood clotting in his leg, minor stuff, nothing major. He had a back surgery that was kind of brutal on him in October. He was having a hard time with some stuff. And I went Thanksgiving to kind of help him, help take care of him, just be with him, fellowship with him. We had a great time. It was amazing. I did kind of have a thought as I'm driving back from, he lived in Champaign, Illinois. I lived in Nashville, Tennessee. Driving back that 6-hour drive, I did think a lot about our time together. I thought a lot about our life. We had really, the last few years, become best friends. I mean, after I became a Christian, I went to him and I forgave him for everything. I was like, look, Dad, you weren't the best dad to me, but you're a great man. And it doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter what happened. I forgive you. I forgive you truly for everything that happened. I can't change it. I don't like it. I think it caused a lot of problems in my life. Also, I don't care anymore. I let it go. I understand you're not perfect. I understand you didn't have God in your life. You didn't have a moral, righteous guide stone in your life. So you were lost yourself. How could you ever lead me in the right direction when you weren't, And we reconnected about this, and he had a lot of church hurt, but he was stirring, man. God was stirring in him. He came down a few times to visit me in Nashville. I took him to church with me. Every time he loved it. Every time he made comments about like, man, your church is awesome. I'm so glad you go there. Your church is amazing. They don't seem to be hypocritical. They don't seem to be fakers. They don't seem to be mean. There's actually love there. You have conversations with just my Christian community, my friends, my people in my church, me, and my dad was starting to see the light and the love of Jesus through us. He was stirring. He was changing. I was like, man, this is going to be the year. I'm driving back after Thanksgiving. I'm driving back to Nashville. And I'm like, you know what? I got about 10 or 15 more years of my dad. He's probably, my whole family got Alzheimer's. I'm starting to see the signs. He's probably going to get there. I have about 10 more years before it gets bad, probably. I have about 15, 20 more years before he's dead. I'm going to make the most of it. And that weekend, that Thanksgiving weekend, he was getting my advice on camping gear because this year we were going to do a lot of camping. We were going to come here to Elkmont. I don't know if you can see behind me in the distance. You can see in the glasses, there's these cabins. This is a ghost town. It's not really a ghost town, but it's a former resort town where they built these cool cabins and they kind of got abandoned and they rebuilt them along the way. And we're here in this beautiful place in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. My dad was going to come. We were going to come on a camping trip here, right here where I'm standing, and visit this town and spend time together, fellowshipping and being together. And I'm driving home on Thanksgiving. I'm driving home and thinking, I got 10 years. I got 15 years. I'm going to get my life together. I'm going to build a house. I'm going to get some property. Eventually, I'm going to move my dad down here in Tennessee. But in the meantime, in 2025, this year, we're going to fellowship. We're going to have fun. And I'm going to finally get him to cross that line from a non-believer to a saved soul, right? And I'm driving, and I get back to my life. I had just a few weeks before done this again, the homeless on purpose thing. My lease was up. I ended my lease and started living out of my truck. So I drive back to Nashville. I'm living out of my truck. I'm making it work. I'm working my job, which was crappy. Some friends were betraying me. There's some stuff going on, some stress, some drama, whatever. It's going into the holiday season. Everyone's, getting happy, buying presents, getting ready for all that. It's getting cold. But also I'm kind of feeling a little more stirred. I'm feeling like the fire is burning a little bit brighter. I'm feeling a little closer to God, but still not there yet. And I get a call. I got a few weird texts, cryptic texts. I felt like something dark had happened. I was kind of jumping to conclusions. Maybe a family member died. Maybe some bad things happened. Maybe I'm about to lose my job. I'm like jumping to these conclusions, but I felt the spirit inside me say, brace for impact. And I knew something bad was about to happen. And I'm driving home from work. I get a call. Are you, it's my mom. My mom and dad, again, were divorced. Recent years, they'd kind of made up, kind of grown closer together it was beautiful. It was like a beautiful little thing. Again, my mom and dad's hearts are kind of been stirring and shaking. I think God is moving in both of them, or was moving in them. And I get a call, and the call is my mom. She says, are you in a place where you can talk? I'm not. I'm driving in traffic in the rain in Nashville. I'm like, yeah, I can talk, Mom. What's up? And she just said, your dad is dead. I was like, no, he's not. What are you talking about? No, he's not. I said, yeah, the neighbor came over and found him. He was dead. Heart attack. Now we're going to have to deal with just the stuff. Family coming back to town, deal with the funeral. He's got a bunch of stuff in his house. Like, there's going to be stuff that's going to have to get done, but he's dead. He died. There's no undo on that. And my life just fell apart. I never felt more sad. I felt worse than when I was going to kill myself. I felt so low, so dark, so empty, so alone. I'm already homeless. I'm already mobile. God did that for me. And I was able to just move up into his house, in Illinois, and start taking care of his house, getting it ready for the funeral. After the funeral, all this stuff happened, and just started divvying up his stuff, organizing his stuff, getting the estate stuff prepared and ready, working with my aunt, who was the executor of his estate, just being the hands of the operation, just taking care of his things to be given away or donated, and just living in his house for months. And that January, I had some family did some bad stuff. I won't get into it, but some multiple family, because of the grief and the craziness and all the stuff they have in their own lives, came back to me. I lost my best friend and my dad, and I felt so alone. And I cried out again to God, alone in my dead father's house. Lord, like, I'm your sheep. I'm here. I want you. I want your fire. What's happening? I believe you. I love you. I'm thankful, but where are you? I want you. And now I look back at it and I realize that year before, that year leading up to his death, when I felt so distant from God and I wanted to blame everyone else but me, I wanted to blame him. I wanted to blame my friends. I wanted to blame my job. I wanted to blame anything else other than my own heart. Because I look back and I say, I see clearly now. I know fully, deeply know now that with my lips and with my thoughts, I was saying, God, I love you and I'm here for you. I'm your sheep. I love you. I trust you. And it was all lip service. It was all my thoughts. It was all in my head. And my heart wasn't there. My heart was still for myself. My heart was still making excuses. My heart wasn't pursuing him. And when I lost my dad and I lost everything, I lost my job and friends and family, and I lost him, I finally surrendered. Lord, here I am. I'm ready. Not just with my lips and my words and my thoughts, but I'm ready. Your servant is here and he's ready. What do you need me to do? And so I went. And now the Spirit has been moving me in powerful, magical ways. And it's been awesome. It's been great. And obviously, if you can't tell by the tears, it still hurts, man. I lost my dad. He was my best friend. Sucks. He was so close. He was so close, man. I thought this year was going to be like the greatest thing ever. Was going to be me and my dad were going to spend a bunch of time together and We had like 3 different camping trips, and we were going to do these fun things and go to football games and baseball games together. And the whole time I was going to keep fellowshipping with him and just shining the light and love of God on him, you know? And now I don't. And now I don't have the time. I don't have that time left. And I wonder all the time, did I do enough? Did I say enough? Will I see him again? And it hurts. It hurts, man. But that hurt is being pushed, is motivating me and pushing me into the direction God needs me to be and away from where I want to be. The life I want is not the life I need. Every time I seek for myself, every time I go, you know what, I want this, I think this, God is pushing me over here in this direction. And when I say no to him and I pursue myself, my own wants, my own needs, my own desires, bad things happen. A wake of destruction behind me, of bad things happening. And it took losing everything for me to finally, truly hit the bottom and surrender with arms wide open and an open heart that says, Lord, lead me. I let go. Now, Holy Spirit, come in and lead me. And I wish that wasn't the case, but like we said at the beginning of the stream, life requires struggle. Life is hard. There can't always be sunshine. There needs to be rain in order for beautiful things to happen, right? Did I do enough? Did I care enough? Could I have said more? Could I have cared more? Could I have done more? But like the river, the water in the river that just keeps on flowing, time keeps going, keeps on going. Life keeps happening. And you can't get stuck in the past. You won't get stuck in the past. You have to keep going forward into your destiny, into the path ahead, into the life ahead. Can't take it back. So what do I do? What do I do with these tears? What do I do with the sadness? What do I do with this free time on my hands? I don't have a job. I don't have a house. What am I to do? Lord, your servant is finally here. Your servant is finally listening. What am I to do? And if you've been following the stream, we're figuring it out as we go. But clearly, he is leading me into a life of service, into a life of shining the light and love of Christ onto others, onto strangers, onto the downtrodden, the forgotten, also the self-righteous and the unbelievers. The people who think they're so Christian, they got everything figured out, and it's leading them away from God because they believe their actions and their words save them, yet their heart is distant. And the unbeliever, the people sleeping on the concrete and the people who are serving the people sleeping on the concrete, who both are lost. God has been leading me towards them. I'm still figuring it out. It's a trial and error process, but we are figuring out what this means. But God has been here moving powerfully through it all. Story after story, day after day, just saying, yes, Lord, I'm here. What would you like me to do? I will do it. And it's been powerful, man. It's been magical. Keep up with the rest of my streams and the streams going forward. I'm going to talk about it all. And this isn't even scratching the surface on some of the things, you know. But it took losing my dad to realize you can't control others. You can only control yourself. And you don't heal by forgetting. You heal with forgiveness. You don't heal by forgetting. You don't become better. You don't become more righteous. You don't become more godly or closer to God by trying to forget who you used to be, by trying to forget about your past, your mistakes, who you used to be. You don't forget all the heartbreak. You don't forget all the failures. You don't forget all the people you've hurt. You don't forget all the people who've hurt you. You forgive them. You don't forget anything. You forgive, and that sets you free because you can't control them. You never will. You can't control what happened to you. You can't change what happened to you. You never will. Like the river, time keeps going forward. And if you try to stay in the past, whether you like it or not, man, that water will rush you forward into your future. You can't forget where you were upstream, but you can forgive and move forward into a better place. You can let the river take you forward into a better place. Forgive like he forgave everybody. Your dad, your mom, your friends, your bosses, your exes, your old friends, your new friends, your strangers on the street, anyone who hurts you or causes you harm or does anything bad to you. Forgive them like God forgave you. Like God forgave me for my many sins, for my debauchery, for my gross selfishness that I had my whole life. Even as a Christian, I kept being selfish. I kept being short-sighted. And yet God was there. And yet God was working. And yet God forgave. So what could I even possibly do to start returning that favor? His patience, his lovingness, his kindness, his mercy. What do I possibly have to give him in return for it all? And as I'm sitting alone in my dead father's house, alone, family hates me, friends hate me, my old job hated me. I feel like the whole world's against me, man. Obviously there's a lot of friends and family and people that were there for me along the way, but you can't forget all the bad as well that was happening, the evil around you, the wickedness. And as I'm alone in my father's house, just crying out and surrendering truly with my heart, Lord, have it. You've had my words, you've had my faith, you've had my emotions, you've had my name, you've had me in theory, but you haven't fully had my heart yet. And if that's the gift you want, that's the gift I'll give. And I have fully surrendered to him. And in return, he has fully reignited the fire inside me. He has fully made his presence known to me. For what I've given to him, which couldn't even come close to the greatest gift ever, the salvation for my sins that I could never save on my, a gift I could never even come close to acquiring on my own. He gave that gift to me, and I gave him lip service in return. I gave him a little bit of works and a little bit of charity in return. I did some good things along the way. I helped some people, I want to say. But if we're being honest, I was giving him my lips and my thoughts, and it took losing everything and having everything important taken from me for me to truly, really, deeply understand that the gift he wants in return is my heart. And so I've given it to him. I've let go. And as a result, he has given me his spirit. He has reignited that fire inside me, and he's put me on a crazy mission. I'm still figuring it out. I don't know what's up with this, but I am obedient. I'm walking into it. I'm pushing into it for the first time, truly. He's been leading me in this direction. I've wanted to go in the other direction. That's my own self-serving direction, my own ways, my own desires and thoughts and wants. And instead, he's been pushing me over here. And for the first time this year, I've let go and I've let him lead me. And it's been awesome. It's been amazing, dude, in so many ways. Big and low, with my friends, my family, with strangers, with unbelievers and believers. Like, he is working and he is moving powerfully through me, which has been a wild ride, man. But forgive like he forgave everybody. When I was still a sinner, I was weak, I was broken and pathetic and gross and useless. Jesus loved me so much, he died for me. I was still gross, I was still pathetic, I was still a liar, I was still self-serving, and yet Jesus died for me in my place. On a cross, man. a brutal death, the punishment I deserved, he still loved me so much. He took on that pain and punishment for me in my place and offered me a gift of salvation, of eternal life. And all he wants is my heart. And I was holding that back for some reason. It's the greatest love story ever, man. Would you do that for someone? Would you do that for your husband or your wife or your parents or your kids? The greatest love story ever told. Not ever told, just ever. Greater than all the riches and friendships and families and fun times and beautiful things I get to experience, all these beautiful, awesome things, right? All the fun times I've had. You know, this weekend I was out whitewater rafting with friends and campfires and hanging out with them. It was awesome, man. It was so good. It was so peaceful, so full of joy, so amazing. All the beautiful things I've seen, beautiful artwork I saw in Chicago, architecture I've been seeing in all these cities, awesome, friendly, amazing people I've been meeting, fellowshipping with. It's greater than all that, man. Greater than any relationship ever could be. He died for me, and now I may be set free from the slavery of my sin, set free from my own sin. Yeah, I've been angry the last couple of years at God. I've been angry at him and disappointed, but I still trusted him. I've been very sad. I've been crying a lot lately. I've been very sad and crying a lot this year, but I still have hope. I still know deep down there is hope. That even with the pain and the heartbreak, the disappointment, the failures, whatever, man, all the bad things, they happen. They're going to happen. They did happen. They're happening right now. They will continue to happen. But God. But in the end, God will make things good. Like the rain coming down on me on my campground. It's like, man, now my stuff's wet. Man, now everything's weird and, you know, confusing. And I took away my whole morning was lost and blah, blah, blah. And it's cold. It's wet. Now I got to hang up stuff. I got blah, 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 blah. And then look at the beauty. Look at the beauty river, beautiful river raging. Look at all the green life growing. Look at the birds chirping and the insects buzzing and just goodness, man, that comes out of the bad, out of the struggle, out of the heartbreak, out of the bad. Good comes. Mercy triumphs over judgment. Because look at me, man. Look at my whole life. Me as a dumb idiot kid, rebellious, stupid, selfish, denying Christ, denying his word, his light, his love, being mean to people, ungrateful, selfish. And then even after I become a Christian, I'm still doing it. I'm still being selfish. I'm still living for myself, if we're being honest. If we're going to summarize things, yeah, I did some good. Yeah, I'd made some sacrifices. Yes, God was working powerfully in my life and doing good things as a result. Even despite myself, him still working out good things. But his mercy triumphed over the judgment I deserved. The punishment I deserved, he took it on. He had mercy on me, a sinner, a gross, weak, pathetic, degenerate idiot. He still had mercy on me, despite the judgment I deserved, which is eternal damnation, eternal separation from him. I rebelled against him. I rejected him. I said, you're fake, you're not real, I don't want you. And I tried to leave him. And yet he had mercy on me. I deserved punishment, and instead he took on the punishment. I deserved eternal separation, and he decided, for whatever reason, to draw me in, to bring me close, to not let me break that tether forever, and instead has drawn me back in to him and his presence and a relationship with him, truly. Not a religion, not going through the motions, but a relationship with him because of his mercy. So what can I do now but have a heart that's merciful towards others? What can I even do, as we've talked about on previous streams, man, to even begin to scratch the surface on what I can do to return all that he's done for me, all that he's created for me, all he's done for me, the patience he's had for me? What can I even do? I can start by being merciful like he is merciful. He had mercy on me. I was still a sinner and he had mercy on me. I was still bad and he had mercy on me. So what can I do in return? I can have mercy on others. I can also try to have that mercy that God had on me for others, whether they be my brothers and sisters in Christ or just strangers, neighbors, unbelievers, people where God's stirring in their heart and people where they still are pushing and running away from God. I can return the favor to him by having mercy on them all. Having mercy on the churchian, legalistic Christians who think they're better than me, I can have mercy on them, despite my thoughts about them. Despite how lost I see they are, I can still have mercy on them. I can still forgive them. The unbelievers who mock me and shame me, call me crazy, call me stupid, I can still have mercy on them and forgive them and love them anyways, like Christ loves them. Mercy should define your relationships with other people. Christian man, Christian woman, mercy should define your relationships with other people, all people. Mercy over judgment. We are not to be judgmental, judgers. There's a time and a place for that. You can judge sins, whatever. We'll get into that debate later on. But in general, your relationships with other people, whether they be the righteously indignant, the people who think they know it all and they're saved and they got it going on and they've been Christians their whole life and they know what's up, they know what's up, they know what's right, they know what's wrong. They're so confident in that. Have mercy on them. Have mercy on them. Forgive them. Love them anyways. Have hope in them that they will change. You disagree with them, you think they're wrong, pray for them, pray with them, have mercy on them, and forgive them, and love them anyways. The unbeliever mocks you, mocks your God, mocks your faith, attacks you, calls you stupid and crazy, tries to hurt you, mess your life up, cause you pain, persecute you. Have mercy on them. Forgive them. Love them anyways. It's what Christ would have done. It's what Jesus Christ did. It's what he would do. And Christian brothers and sisters, we must do the same. We must also have mercy over judgment onto others.